The microphone was working, but my headset wasn't. And
Hey, another episode. I've gotten the fruit crush today, Darren. You're a creature of habit. Purple grape. I did select it for you, though.
Purple juice.
Purple juice.
Purple drank.
Purple juice, did you
Purple
say?
drank. What is juice? Never drank juice in my life.
What is that from?
All right.
Dave Chappelle.
Nice. Okay.
What are
What's
we
the topic
talking
today?
about today? The A to Z of amino acids.
Well, guess it's one of the ingredients in there.
What did I say, Z? That's American.
I say
Z.
Z.
I say Z.
Do you?
Yeah, but you're
But I'm confused.
You're all over the
The
place.
kids today say
Yeah.
Z.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gen Z.
I don't think.
They don't say Gen Z.
I think kids today can't even get to Z either way. They get
Yeah.
halfway through. And
What
they
are
get
you classed
distracted.
as?
I'm.
You're not Gen
What
Z.
am I? I'm. Yeah, I think so.
Are you?
He doesn't even know.
I
No.
don't really care, to be honest.
No.
It's like asking my horoscope. It doesn't
What?
make a
When
difference
did we
to me.
start talking about generations? Because we didn't. When I was a kid, I didn't even know what I was until about a year ago.
I think it was when
Yeah.
millennials started using the word boomer as an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe.
speaking of
Yeah.
generations.
No.
but
This is the topic today.
many
Yeah.
generations ago, the amino acid that we're talking today was discovered.
Oh, was it? How many
Yeah.
generations ago?
That was an awful segue.
Yeah.
That was the
I was
worst
trying-
segue. That was almost as bad as your Miyamoto Musashi
I
quotes.
tried my best, but
No, we'll never get that.
So we're going to talk, due to popular demand, we're getting a lot of requests for information about amino acids, different types,
mhm.
and certain ingredients. So we're going to continue that theme. Recently we've covered creatine, carnitine, and today
Beta-alanine.
we're going beta-alanine. Today we're actually going to look at citrulline, which is probably an amino acid that not a lot of people have heard about, but is in actually a lot of sports supplement products, and it's quite beneficial.
That's right.
So what
Citrulline.
is citrulline? It's an amino acid.
It is an amino acid, but it's not one of the 20 amino acids. You know, similar to beta-alanine, it's a
What?
non-protein amino acid.
Non-protein amino acid. So if you have a protein shake, it won't be in there.
Wait, so are there amino acids that are not essential and non-essential?
There are amino acids that are
'Cause
outside of the 20 essential and non-essential ones. Yes,
Oh, what the? Okay.
we
Right.
literally covered this in the last podcast.
Oh,
but
I
He
don't-
wasn't listening.
I
Yeah.
just speak.
so basically,
How many are there in total?
there's 20 amino acids, right? If you think of letters of the alphabet, the 20 amino acids are like letters of the alphabet that makes up.
Then you said there's
On
more.
today's episode of New Zealand Masterminds, Darren talks about all the essential the
Hey,
amino acids.
link in description. That is actually hilarious to
Yeah.
watch during on Mastermind.
Anyway, it's a flex, but
Except you got the easiest.
He
question
actually
wrong.
flexed when he said that. Too.
Yeah.
It's a flex, and I saw he's like, chest go up.
can't say flex without flexing.
So, how many amino acids are there?
There's 20 that are found in protein. Outside
Right.
of that, there are an unlimited number of amino acids because they can be made artificially. They can be, found in nature in different places that aren't in proteins. So technically, well, maybe not unlimited, but a lot.
Are BCAAs? I mean,
Yes.
essential, non-essential.
Essential, yes.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
and they're protein amino acids.
Yep. Yeah. Cool.
That's what you're trying to say. So essential and non-essential only talks about protein amino acids.
Okay, gotcha.
Outside of that, there's non-protein amino acids, and that is citrulline. Anyway,
That's the end of today's podcast.
took us a long time to get to that point.
Sorry.
So
I'm really buying into
so-
my own character, aren't I?
yeah,
So citrulline,
yeah.
non-essential,
Non-protein.
non-protein amino acids. So why is it in? Why? Or firstly, is it found anywhere in nature, in food, or?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spoiler alert, I may have planted the seed, but do you know where you can
What
find
type of seed did you plant? Was it a?
Well, do you know where we
Water-
can find some
Oh my God,
citrulline?
it's watermelon.
Yes, watermelon.
Is that the only place you can find citrulline? Surely there's other food sources.
It's
that
in
have
other
it.
food sources, but
That's the
watermelon
most
is by far the highest. So it
I
has,
love me some watermelon in summer. How good is it?
yeah. So it has actually 2.1 milligrams per gram
Do you reckon you could eat a whole watermelon
of citrulline.
Yeah.
easily?
You can get small watermelons, but
Like
I
a
could,
big
I
one.
could-
You could
yes,
eat a whole
yes,
one
yes.
easily.
Yeah, well, in what way? Am I the big fuck off spoon, or am I like?
Well, I don't care how
Is
you
it
eat
blended?
it. Like
Yeah.
you can
It's mostly
chop it
water.
up with a knife and fork.
It's
if
mostly
you want.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
Is that where it gets the name watermelon?
Do you know how
Because it's full of
what
water.
percentage of watermelon is water?
I'm going to say
95.
70.
Yeah, the other percentage is citrulline. No, it's like 99. But
Oh,
there's-
is it really?
Yeah,
Wow. No wonder it's so light
But
and easy to eat.
yeah. There's some fiber and stuff in there as well. Anyway,
But
Yeah.
citrulline's in it, right?
so we're
So-
taking long to get to the point here. So what does citrulline do for you? Any ideas?
Yes.
Go, Hal.
It helps with it's blood flow, isn't it?
That's right.
Blood flow and oxygenation.
Blood flow is probably the main way to think about citrulline. It's part of something called a urea cycle.
So it helps get rid of like ammonia and stuff like that as well?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So when you consume citrulline, it actually, downstream effects is that it increases your nitric oxide, which is a very interesting thing that has the effect of something called vasodilation. So when your blood vessels expand, that increases some blood flow.
Cool.
Expand and relax. More
Yeah.
blood flow means more nutrients to the muscle.
Yeah.
Oxygen as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
more everything.
And also, helps eliminate the waste products of muscle contraction and exercise.
So that'd be good for like endurance athletes that are developing a heap of waste.
So is
Style.
that like muscle? Is the main benefit then muscle function while you're exercising, or is it more about recovery?
It's both, but it's been studied for quite a few different things. And probably like the main reason why people use it is something called your rate of perceived exertion. So RPE. You guys heard about that?
Yep.
Yeah, obviously.
That was a very confident maybe
Yeah.
from Hal. Quickly move on before you ask me a
I've
question.
heard of the letters.
So basically RPE is, how hard are you pushing yourself? It's a scale that you
It's
can
like a measure of intensity.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is one of the main measures of intensity, right? So citrulline and a few studies has been shown to improve RPE on certain exercises.
Right.
So that means you can be doing the same exercise and feel a lower rate of perceived exertion.
Okay, so it makes me think that it would help with performance, and I
Yeah.
guess and
So how's it doing that though?
So it's not universal, it's not across the board and doesn't apply to every single exercise, but basically it works exactly how we said, right? It increases the blood flow, delivers more nutrients, helps reduce fatigue by eliminating some muscle waste products. So you can kind of keep going and
is it
ultimately have better muscle contractions.
is it like
and
more
things.
suitable, applicable to one of the three energy systems we've spoken about? Like, would you say it's better to consume for cardio, for sprinting, for weight training, for anything in between?
Yeah, probably. If you think about how those systems work, it's probably applicable to all three. But in your anaerobic system, for example, you produce a lot of metabolic waste products that can help flush those up.
Yeah.
In your aerobic system, it's going to be helping deliver more oxygen to your muscles, so it's going to help out in that part.
Interesting.
It's an ingredient for all athletes, really.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
because like citrulline is present mostly in pre-workouts and in some energy drinks that play a role in pre-workout, and that makes me think that it's better for resistance training, weight training. But you're saying it could also be good for sport and for cardio.
Yeah. It's also in our intra-workout product, which is our amino product. So how much
Name
citrulline?
drop.
How much citrulline do you think you need?
3,000 milligrams.
Yeah,
A
but
day. A day, a year, or what?
Total. Ever.
Ever?
Once
Alright.
and you're done.
yeah, 3,000 probably 2,000 to 3,000 is probably the lower end. Some people aim for 6,000 all the way up to about 10,000 milligrams, which is 10 grams,
Shit.
which is quite a bit.
So how are you getting that much? It's rare to find this as a single ingredient.
Yeah, it's rare to find as a single ingredient, but if you do take Musashi pre-workout and Musashi intra-workout, both of them have citrulline in them, then you're getting...
Right.
Wait, do you guys not eat 3 whole watermelons every day?
Yeah, I do.
Guess how much citrulline you get from a watermelon?
A whole watermelon?
A 1 kilo watermelon.
Gram of citrulline?
2.1 grams of citrulline.
Yeah, right.
So,
So you got to eat
5.
3 watermelons a day to get
Yeah.
your...
Get 5 to get 10.
yeah.
So it's predominantly in pre-workout products, mainly for that vasodilation, the blood flow.
Yeah. And you guys know I love the gym as opposed to
You?
running.
What's a gain?
So one thing, unexplained benefit is the pump. So something I like is your mind muscle connection when you're working out. You actually feel like your muscles are ripping out of your skin.
Yeah. And that's just from the increased blood flow, right?
Exactly.
And then the delivery of nutrients.
Yeah. So
Blood flow is important beyond just the gym as well, definitely for athletes.
Yeah.
Does that make, just talking to that, obviously citrulline would exaggerate, I guess, the pump. What if you were taking citrulline in a product and you were doing no exercise? Would it also have a similar effect?
How do you get a pump? It would still have a vasodilation effect, but
Yeah.
you're not
It'd
really
be less
Well,
visible.
well, on
creating the
this,
demand for the extra blood flow to go to that muscle.
funny you ask, because on this note, citrulline's actually being studied for erectile dysfunction.
I thought you were going to go there. I honestly thought you were going to go there.
And so some promising effects there if that's where you need some help. But
Citrulline,
Yeah, well-
arginine together.
yeah, citrulline and arginine together. So we'll kind of focus on the gym benefits. The sports benefits.
Are you sure you wouldn't mix citrulline in a testosterone boosting product for a bit of libido? Is that on the cards?
No, it's more
No.
about blood flow rather
Yeah.
than increasing testosterone or anything like that.
Yeah. Try it out when you're older, Hal. You'll see.
Well, you might need it now. Who knows?
Anyway,
No, promise.
so one of the most common questions we always get is, what's the difference between citrulline and arginine? Why don't I just take arginine? What is ornithine? So actually, these three amino acids are related, right? So originally, people used to take arginine as a supplement to increase your arginine because that was thought to be the best way to increase your nitric oxide. Remember, nitric oxide is what causes this vasodilation in your muscles.
How am I supposed to remember something I never knew in the first place?
No, I know this.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep going.
Just remember NO.
No.
Yes.
NO. Every pre-workout started with NO something.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Yeah.
The best ones were it said NO pump. People thought they got no pump. But anyway.
Remember NO explode, no explode,
Oh, yeah.
no pump, NO boost. There's been heaps of them.
Yeah. Anyway, so arginine is part of this cycle that Ross talked about before, the urea cycle, to eliminate your ammonium, which is produced from different bodily functions. And then, arginine gets converted to ornithine, which gets converted back to citrulline. And through this process, your body, eliminates ammonia and produces nitric oxide as a byproduct.
So why would you take all three?
Well,
If one becomes the other, which becomes another?
actually, citrulline is the best one to take in your diet because citrulline is the one that gets absorbed best from your intestine. So it's actually better to take citrulline to increase your arginine than taking arginine itself.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then why would you take a combination of the three?
Well, they all can get absorbed from your intestines.
Do they have like a
at some
synergistic
point.
effect?
It just needs to go through a process.
Yeah. So think of, it's a cycle, right? You're just fueling different parts of the cycle, and it
yeah, okay.
happens to be the rate limiting part of the cycle.
So the result
where
is
you
just-
get the most benefits is by adding citrulline.
Yeah, okay.
And remember, they convert back to each other, so it's a circular process.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So what about talk about, because a lot of products use citrulline malate.
Yes. So citrulline malate just means citrulline plus something called malic acid, which is a normal kind of food acid, and that just simply makes citrulline more suitable to use in a powder format.
Is that different to L-citrulline?
So it makes it more stable to use in a powder format.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that different to L-citrulline?
So L-citrulline is what we
Is
refer
the
to as
amino acid.
citrulline.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
So amino acids can come in two forms, D or L, and we generally always talk about the L form. So
So it's shorthand. So if we're talking about carnitine, we're talking about L-carnitine. If
Yeah,
we're talking
that's right.
about arginine, we're talking about L-arginine.
Yeah.
that's right, because L is the type that generally occurs in nature. It's all about how the molecule is orientated in 3D space. So they might have the same structure on paper. That's how they're orientated. So that's L and D.
Sounds like pure bro science to me. No,
Yeah.
like-
Anyway,
What's L and D?
lever rotary and dextro rotary. It's a complicated thing.
I was hoping it'd be something so more simple. Why not L and R, left and right?
Oh my
Well, actually, there is RNS, which is for more complicated molecules, but we won't go there.
Oh my god.
It's kind of an old school thing. Anyway,
So when we know how much to use, what it's for. When should we be using it? Because if it is a vasodilating sort of ingredient, then that would lend itself to be used prior to a training session or a sports or
yeah, pretty much before and during would be the best way to.
before and during. So it's not like a creatine or a beta-alanine where you can use it any time of the day. It's preferably used
time sensitive.
before and during.
Yeah, ideally before you want some blood flow or a pump or better oxygen delivery to your muscles or whatever one of the multiple benefits of citrulline are.
Okay. I guess that makes sense to why it's included in a whole bunch of like fuel products for us. So it's energy drinks, pre-workout, intra-workout.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So you should be looking for citrulline in your pre-workouts or your energy drinks. Or, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
On cue, sip.
How was that sip of citrulline?
You can taste a little bit of watermelon in there.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
New flavor coming soon.
So back to that other question: do you need to use citrulline along with arginine, ornithine, or can you just use one or the other? Like,
You can use them together, but ideally you should focus on citrulline. You'll notice that our pre-workouts have ornithine, citrulline, and arginine as a combination. So it kind of targets the cycle at 3 different points.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. In the same way that beta alanine has what's it called? The unintentional effect, like it gives you the tingles. Are there any side effects from
Citrulline.
Citrulline.
Yes.
It's a good side effect though, and Darren briefly discussed it before. And it might create extra blood flow.
Well, actually,
That's the main effect, isn't it?
Yeah, but anyway.
actually, there are some side effects that are going on in your body with citrulline that you might not actually know about.
Right.
Give me some.
So citrulline actually has an interaction with other amino acids. So it actually lowers your concentration of BCAAs and glutamine when you're training, right?
How and
So
why?
does that mean it can have like an anti-recovery effect?
Well, when they studied this, people at rest, their BCAAs and glutamine levels kind of stayed the same. But when they were working out, their BCAA levels in the blood kind of dropped.
Is that because your body might be utilizing them as potentially a fuel source?
Yeah,
or?
potentially they're getting delivered to your muscles better. Right?
Yeah.
So,
But
so
it's getting to the muscles, but you've got lower concentration in the blood.
yeah.
Does that mean if you were taking something with citrulline, you might need to also supplement BCAAs and glutamine as well?
Potentially. I mean, these are all like theoretical things, right? So, yeah, people do recommend supplementing BCAAs or protein when you're taking citrulline.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're having protein, you're getting plenty of protein in your diet, no problems. Yeah.
Nice. Citrulline. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Where do you guys rate citrulline in the supplement ingredient Hall of Fame?
Well, it's not an ingredient that a lot of people talk about, but it's super important. I know a lot of people talk about arginine, have done over the years, but not as much these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely rank citrulline somewhere in between beta alanine and carnitine. I'm just not entirely sure where yet.
Yeah. I kind of rate citrulline above carnitine.
Yeah. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because it has more of like a performance effect rather than carnitine's energy production, but also metabolism, whereas citrulline is nutrients.
Just because I like the pump.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
No,
that makes sense.
really, it has quite a lot of effects. And when it comes to improving your, RPE during training, how hard you're training, that's one of the best things you can have in a product.
Hey, on that, you said RPE, which stands for
Rate of perceived exertion.
which is a measure of intensity.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So like it's a 1 to 10 scale, right? 10 being the hardest thing you've ever done, 1 being you're not.
You're scoring
exerted at
yourself.
Yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
it's a measure of the exercise itself, not necessarily your performance of the exercise. Like it's not your ability to withstand that intensity. It's you're measuring the exercise that you're doing from 1 to 10.
If I say for you to do a set of, box jumps, the RPE, 1, you'll do 1 box jump. If I say, do a RPE 7, you'd probably do 10 box jumps.
Or
If you
do a 100-meter sprint at an RPE of 5.
Yeah.
So it's a measure of the exercise then.
So
Yeah.
RPE 10 is you can't do a single more box jump if you tried. If I put a gun to your head, you wouldn't be able to run 100 meters.
Does that change
faster than you are?
Would that change for each athlete? Like someone who exercises a lot compared to a little,
I know.
would they have different?
Well, I mean, depending on your level of fitness, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like if 2 people, one is very fit, one person is not very fit, did exactly the same amount of exercise, would they each consider that exercise to have a different RPE based on their fitness?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Are there any other measures of intensity when it comes to exercise?
Well, probably.
Sorry, I know this is a tangent, but I'm
there's a more accurate one, but it can't really be applied to all types of exercise. But it's RIR, which is reps in reserve. So, say you're doing bench press, you do a few sets of 2 reps in reserve or 1 rep in reserve, right? That's it's actually more accurate when compared to RPE,
So
but
that's
it's not as versatile.
Yeah, obviously that comes to anything that requires reps. You could not apply that to say if you were sprinting as fast as you can for as hard as you can.
Yeah,
for as long as you can.
How many reps do you have in reserve in
No,
sprinting?
you could say how many meters you have, like as a percentage of the distance. Could you not?
Or intensity.
Yeah.
You could be sprinting at a 50% intent. Well, I guess that's not really
Well,
sprinting. then, is it?
people
It's
use
jogging.
Yeah.
People use percentages. 80% effort, 90%
Yeah.
effort. That's another way to do it.
Yeah, no.
In sprinting, that's quite common.
Yeah, gotcha. And okay,
I
and
think across
interesting.
all sports it is. There's a lot of stuff where you sort of just go at 50% or
Yeah.
yeah. You
So
might be
Hal
wa-
plays basketball at 50%.
Yeah, he does.
do everything at 50%.
He doesn't need to get above 50. That's where the competition's at.
Exactly. So, but tying that back in, did you say that citrulline will? That means citrulline would lower your RPE, wouldn't it? How intense you consider the exercise to be, because it would improve.
That's right. So they did
your
the same
essential
exercise and they had a lower RPE.
After using
So-
citrulline.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Citrulline makes you fitter.
Well,
Can we claim that?
no.
We can't claim anything we just talked about.
All right. Well, I might as well just delete that. Hey?
But yeah, there's science and then there's what we can actually
And then there's bro
put on
science.
packaging. So yeah.
There's
just on what we were talking about, like if you're in the gym, reps in reserve, are you always training to failure? Or are you leaving some reps in reserve?
I hardly ever train to failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Hal?
Only maybe.
Let's
it's
just
loss.
take a bench press. Are you going till you can't perform any more movement in that exercise at all? Or
Maybe
are you
one-
leaving a few reps in reserve?
One in every 3 or 4 sessions, but not for every exercise. So if I'm doing every now and again, I'll do maybe 2/3 of the weight that I'd rather do for a bench press, and I will do just as many reps as possible. So lower weight, but that's more hypertrophy. But I only do that like one in every 3 or 4 sessions. You?
These days, I'll usually leave 2 or 3 reps in reserve just for preventing injury, maintaining form,
same.
and just recovering a little bit better.
But also, like if you're
I
starting,
don't want to be constantly sore all the time.
exactly,
anymore.
and if you're starting with a bench press and you're going to failure, then that kind of just like prevents you from going as hard as you might want to for the rest of your exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anything more on
question.
citrulline?
Another uncommonly known benefit is that citrulline is actually found because your body produces citrulline, right? You don't have to get it only from your diet. Citrulline is found in higher concentrations in the brains of people that have better memories.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Short-term and long-term memory.
I can't remember, but
All right. Can't remember.
What's citrulline?
So it's higher concentration with people with better memory. So is it contributing? So is it the blood flow effect to the brain, or is it
I don't know, I
just
think
you've got a
it's just
healthier brain?
a correlation. So
Could you supplement? Could you improve your memory by supplementing citrulline?
who knows? Yet
Can we claim
some
that?
studies suggest that it may.
further research to be examined.
So same as the rest of the industry then.
Yeah. So
I saw a study the other day in kids that eat eggs every day, 1 egg every day. They've actually got a higher IQ than kids that don't eat eggs.
Really? What's an
Mate.
egg?
well, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense from all the nutrients that are in an egg.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting that foods can have a direct impact on IQ. There's probably a lot of other
Well, fish.
things to
right?
consider in that study.
All right,
But
Hal, time
heard
for you
some-
to go have some eggs and
yeah,
watermelon.
can you start eating some eggs at least?
What's an egg?
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway,
You know who loved citrulline as an ingredient and pretty much built their whole philosophy on citrulline? Miyamoto Musashi. Pretty sure he had a quote
Here we go.
about citrulline.
Good luck.
Oh, interesting.
very interesting. that you mentioned
Duran's
that.
actually going to find a verbatim quote about the pump.
They've been terrible lately. People have been
Yeah.
writing in saying, can he at least open that book, a day before the podcast and
You've had-
find something more relevant?
Honestly, people are calling for you to be removed from the podcast. You're about to
Yeah.
get dove and hammed.
Yeah.
There's been a big outcry
Yeah.
saying, who is this guy butchering all of Miyamoto Musashi's quotes?
All right. We have
We
to
put
find
this
one.
guy on a philosophical pedestal, man.
We have to find a good one today.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't distract him. We'll talk amongst ourselves while he's finding.
Time is running out, though.
Okay.
Come on, mate. You got to find it quick, like on Mastermind. Didn't you have a time limit on Mastermind?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I'll just.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. Next page, and we go. All
Go.
right. Having the courage to enter into combat when the time and place are right is what I mean by crossing the ravine.
100%. You have to have optimal blood flow. You have to. That relates perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to time the time to cross the river.
Shut up.
Have you ever?
Just shut up. I think that everyone, please write in and request for this part of the podcast to be removed forever.
I can just do it myself.
We're only getting to the start of these quotes, so if anybody wants some more quotes,
we're only at the beginning.
we're only at the tip of the iceberg. So if anybody's interested, just send through your favorite quote. We'll read it.
Oh my god. Anyway, on that note,
Thank you for joining us. As usual, we do apologize.
Musashi out.
Musashi.